Hi, it's Chris with Implied Music. If you're a guitarist, you certainly know what a capo is. It shortens the strings by clamping onto the neck. You can take familiar shapes and play in new keys, higher, maybe lower. The piece of software called Capo runs on Mac, iOS, and your desktop. Lets you do that and so much more. It's a transcription tool for me and also a practice tool, allowing me to change pitch up or down, slow it, speed it up, all kinds of powerful sort of manipulations that help me dig down into a track that I really want to understand. I want to take a look at it today. So this isn't a paid advertisement or anything like that. I just love Capo. I've been using it for a long time. They've changed their model over the years. Like I'm looking at it here on the App Store, and it looks like they've got a subscription model now. I actually have no idea how much it costs because I got it years ago, right, when it was kind of like not as powerful as it is now. But take a look at it on the App Store, or maybe visit their website for more details about how to purchase or how to use it. Now, let's just open up a Capo bundle. What you do when you get started is you just open up Capo and you drag an MP3 or an audio file into its easy interface, and you get something that looks like this. Well, there's the waveform up on top, and that should be familiar to anybody who's used, a DAW. But the screen below it is a spectrograph. It actually displays the individual fundamentals and some overtones of all of the notes. And I have to say, unbelievably useful. Now, right now, this spectrograph intensity is a little bit low. So I'm going to just make it a tiny bit more intense. You see things getting darker, and as they get darker, I can see additional tones, including a lot of overtones. This stuff, like I'm going to make a note here. It's going to sound ding. That overtone is like not in the part, but it's present, and so it shows up there. There's a vocal and piano in this track. Well, this is how I tend to use it. I will isolate individual phrases just to work on it. So I'm working on a song called "The President Sang Amazing Grace." A young man came to a house of prayer. Now, Capo has analyzed the chords, and fairly correctly, although it isn't always accurate and sometimes it misses things. You've got to check things yourself. B flat, C minor 7, B flat. You can output those chords. It also is showing me the vocal very, very clearly here, as well as the piano parts above it. You see this swoopy little line here? Those are the harmonics, the upper partials of the formants. Well, let's say I want to zero in on a section. Down here, I've got a bunch of options, including regions and markers. I can add and remove chords. You can see everything that's possible. Right now, let's just add and remove regions. So I'm going to add a looping region just by clicking this and move it over so that it zeroes in on this bit here. And I can just listen to it again and again and work on it, practice it. Now, let's say I'm, not doing so well with the track, and I want to change the speed. Well, that's plenty easy. Right now I'm at, I guess we just would call it 100%, right? Let's slow it down to, this is crazy, 75%, and it won't change the pitch. Still be in the, still be basically B flat to F. They did not ask what brought him there. Now, admittedly, a little wobble, but that's a giant speed change, right? I love being able to do that. Now, here's another thing that we can do. I'm going to go over to here and we'll just change the key. Let's say it's, a little bit low or a little bit high. I can't sing in B flat comfortably. I would want to go down to G. So let's go down to G. And we'll listen again. Interesting, right? It's a nice trick, and it allows me to kind of work on the song in a new key. It's kind of weird sounding, so I'm going to bring it back up. And we'll change the speed back up to regular speed. If I save this track, everything gets saved, my markers, my loops, that's, I think, with the full subscription. There are a couple of other things that make this a very useful tool for me. This particular track with just vocals and piano doesn't require this kind of in-depth analysis, but look at this. I can zero in on a specific frequency range. Let's say I want to solo just the frequency range that I'm interested in, and we'll make it like lows. I can also zero in on panning. For instance, if I just want to hear that rhythm guitar that's way over on the left-hand side, and it's really, really tight way over on the left-hand side in my mix, I'm hearing just this wacky wide stereo sound. I should probably have used a different example for that because I got to say, not super useful for this particular track. So if there's a beat-oriented track you're working with, it will analyze the tempo. It'll analyze the meter. It'll give you a metronome to work with. Over here, this mix window balances the volume of the notes that you add to the track, say, to zero in on things, the metronome, the song. Let's say I really want to zero in on things. I can actually add a note, and it'll play back that note, and I can say, oh, yeah, that's definitely the right pitch. That kind of thing can be very, very useful when you have a complicated part and you really want to work out voicings. I've used it extensively for analyzing solos. Fast lines, slow them down. Look at the spectrograph. Drop in the individual notes. Super powerful. Well, Capo's, for me, has been a indispensable tool. I have to say it's helped me out many, many times when I needed to work out exactly what's going on down inside a track. I'm not going to say that I couldn't have done it just, with my handy little micro cassette recorder up to my ear at the piano, but there's something great about seeing it on the screen, about being able to kind of get the monkey wrenches out, change speed, maybe even change pitch, zero in, loop, things like that. This song came up for me because we had yet another mass shooting in the United States. I grew up in central Maine, south central Maine, and this week's mass shooting happened in Lewiston, just a few miles south of where I grew up. And it's not really a dime's worth of difference between Lewiston and my hometown. This song, which I'm just going to say you guys got to go listen to, maybe Joan Baez's version or maybe the original composer's version, which is so pure and clear. We're listening to her here. The song is a protest song, certainly, but it's more a celebration of leadership. It's not a complaint. It's has a kind of a hopeful quality, a plea, if you will. And in some respects, I think it feels to me like a hymn. I think I'll probably do a vocal arrangement for church choir of this song because I can really hear it as something that could be just super useful in that context. It's a very famous song. If it's not one that you could, as I say, check out Joan Baez's version. There's a killer arrangement that Kronos did. And, it's just awful powerful. I was pretty up about all this stuff yesterday. I recorded a piano version of it because I really needed to do this. I'll tack it on to the end of the video. Listen, I hope this has been useful. Try Capo. Very interesting stuff. Like and subscribe and ding the bell. You'll be notified when I do my videos, and I'll see you next time.